The higher authorities want as much as profit. Since there are no morals, there are no ethics, so they make a system. Tinder came out, which is a hookup culture, a short boom boom encounter, short sexual encounter, for example, and you are not going to be penalized for this kind of promiscuity. You will be staying in that system because it is generating more profit. So hey guys, hope you're doing good. I'm doing good too, and welcome to an interesting video. This is actually a video presentation. I want to show you my views, what is going on in the world.
Now presenting Deepak, the most proven and female-friendly dating coach in this world.
I want to talk about fall of West, fall of Western civilization, or fall of West. What is the real reason behind why it is happening? What is the real reason behind? Uh, I'm not a historian. I am a dating coach, but I will try my best to explain you what is going on, because I also really love politics, geopolitics, history, our evolution, and my knowledge is not just limited to dating skills. I have knowledge in other things also, and in this video I will give you my views. If you are agree or you are not agree, I still want to listen from you. What do you think about my views when it comes to fall of West in the comment section? And before we move forward, here is an interesting message also. If you're still suffering in your dating life and not able to find the right solution for the problems what you're facing in your dating life, then now it's time to change it forever. And if you're committed, then get to a 30-minute call with me where I will listen to your problems what you are facing in your dating life, and I will give you the best solution which will efficiently solve your dating problems. So book a 30-minute consultation call with me. The link is in the description below, and let's solve your dating issues once for all. I am also the creator of dating product of the century, Dating in Fields Domination, which is unchallenged the best live example dating product, where you will not only see my live examples of me interacting with people, making some of them my life partner, but also my students doing the same. And live examples are from all over the world, like New York, London, Europe, Las Vegas, and from all races. If you still do not believe what I'm saying, then just check the product out. It costs only $1, and if you're not satisfied, then I guarantee I will even refund that $1 to you. And also guys, if you're enjoying my content, then like this video, because that will help in performing this video better in algorithm. And don't forget to subscribe my channel and hit the bell button so that you will be notified when I release a new video. And let's move forward with the main video. Maybe this video going to be a long video. I will cover different things in this video. The question is the fall of the West and what is the reason behind. Some people say it is because of feminism, it is because of the girls, it is because of liberals and all the stuff people are saying. But I think the root cause of the problem is completely different. So we try to figure out what is the root cause of the problem. So let's start. So we have this world. So this is like, we say this is like Europe. So this is what we have, Europe, and this is, we have the other countries. So if you understand the evolution, there are like two interesting things. One is like K selection and one is R selection. So K selection is where we have limited amount of resources. K selection is where we have limited amount of resources, and so we have to spend our resources in a very proper way, otherwise we can die, something like that. So it is coming from the species. For example, K selection can be like elephant. Elephants are K selection, or mammals in terms of loin. Loin is a K selection, something like that. And when it comes to species of, like for example, rabbit. Rabbit is an R selection. So R selection is where you have lot of resources. So where you have lot of resources, so you are not really worried about the resources, and you are focusing on making more, like breeding. So in R selection, you are more focused on the quantity. In K selection, you are more focusing on the quality, something like that. So if you see the evolution, so in Europe here, so it was like in Europe, if you see in Europe, we have this limited resources because it is a cold environment, it's a cold temperature. So because if you are not able to save the resources in the winter time, or sorry, in the summer time, then you it may happen that in the winter you will not able to get resources and you may die. That's why in Europe, when the civilization was evolving, it was more case selected because they have to work more efficiently. They have to work more efficiently in Europe, in the West, we say. European people, they have to work more efficiently and they have to focus on gathering as much resources as possible, and also saving these resources for the winter time. So that how the evolution of the European people happened. It is more like a case selected kind of evolution. And we say like this, Africa is, for example, is are selected. There are like plenty of resources, so people didn't care that much about the resources. Oh, we have winter now and we will not getting like any resource. It was not like that in Africa. And you have availability of resources and living place all the year, all 12 months. So it was not an issue there. So African people, or we say our selected countries, our selected places, they developed in an our selected way. They didn't really focus on gathering too much of resources for the winter. So this is how the evolution like happened. So I think the IQ of the European people also developed according to that. At the same time, there is a one interesting thing also developed in European people. It was this motivation to gather as much as possible resources so that they can survive in the winter time. And from this motivation, this greed start to come to get as much as resources, as much as profit, and explore the different places in the world also. So for example, Africans, like in this continent or even in Indian continent, you see this Indian continent or here, so people are more like living their life. They are not really interested in exploring or conquering different places. But this greed of gathering as much as resources as possible, um, uh, European people did more invention also, and they started to go, for example, to like here in USA, here also they go to Africa also, they go to India also. What they did was they, for example, I hope the spelling is correct. They conquered USA. They eliminated all Native Americans, and they it become like more like a European country, USA. They may colonize like South America, Africa, and India. So they colonize for what? So from here, like to gather as back resources, as much as resources possible in from these country. So like in USA, they make the country of their own country, but in the other countries, most probably, I don't know too much history about the South America, but definitely from Africa and India, they got lot of resources back to Europe and start to develop their own European countries as much as possible. So if we see that that the motivation behind is gathering more resources, something like that, but the real motivation we can also say is the greed to gather more resources, more power. Because they were case selected, it was always they were always developed their mindset, their IQ, their the way of life in such a way that they have to gather more resources because they're living in cold environment so that they survive in the winter time. And that's why that mindset, that that thing is convert also into more greed, and more greed for money, more resources, and more power. So they conquer, like for example, they were living in it's like USA is like at that time European country. Then they get like all the resources back to from African, they colonize African countries, they colonize India, and bring back all the resources from this country to Europe and make Europe more prosperous, Western countries more prosperous. So, what is the point? Is the greed for the money, greed for the power. That's we have to keep in mind, and we will see how it goes, how it is relates to the present situation also. So, actually, the greed for money, greed for power, greed for more resources make the Western civilization very successful, very prosperous also, making new invention also. Now we move forward. So what we also see, because USA become the European country, so USA becomes, so they also now the slave trading start. It is again, it is the greed for resources, greed for more efficient. So now we see with resources, the slaves also traded to these countries. Slaves came from like these African countries to USA, to EU, Europe. From India, they went to also like Europe, slaves or something like that. Maybe from here also, I don't know too much history about like South America that much, but maybe something like that happened here. But definitely from Africa, African people were made as slaves in USA as well as in Europe, in many countries in Europe. We all know that. So again, you have to keep in mind what is the motivation. Okay, the motivation is also gathering resources, but also more efficiency. Efficiency is also like case selected kind of trait, more efficiency. R selected trait is not efficiency. R selected is more, you have more quantity. Because of that case selected nature of Western white people, they started to bring the slave trade. They have this kind of level of superiority also. We do understand, okay, and then they did this slave trade. But the motivation, we keep in mind, the motivation is the greed, money, power. Simple as that. That's the motivation for them. Slave trading happened. But on parallel, there is a one interesting thing also happened on parallel. It was capitalism happened in Western countries. So one interesting thing happened in the Western countries was capitalism as well as separation of church, because when you are separating church from religion, from the politics, then you are free to explore different options. There is no higher authority that is controlling the people, and that's why a lot of invention happened at that time in Europe, because the church has with the time less and less influence on the political system, and that's why people were more freely thinking and making more invention. As well as then there is also slowly there the morals and ethics are also going away from the society. You have to understand, morals and ethics are also going away from the society, because the church, the Christianity, that is also controlling the morals and ethics of the people who are living in these countries. When now there is no influence of church, the Christianity in the Western political system, then slowly the morals and ethics are also going away. We do understand like the main motivation was because of K selection, the main motivation is always like resources. From the this motivation, the greed develops, greed for money and power. We have to keep this thing in mind. So in Western civilization, in Western people, we have greed of money and power. It is how they evolve. It is because of that they also make a lot of new inventions. So now we have the separation of church from the political system, which leads to slowly, no morality, no moral ethics. Now, when you have the capitalistic society, capitalistic system, you have to keep in mind, and capitalistic society, capitalistic system, without any higher authority that is controlling the people, how they live, how they behave, without any morals or ethics in the society, then there is like no limits. People can go to whatever extent to make profit as much as possible, because profit is what competition, and profit is what that fuels the capitalistic society system, that cause like new ideas, development of new ideas, invention of new things in the society. And also it can happen at the expense of moral and ethics. I will explain you how. So now we go to the time period where the slave trading was abolished, like we can say around after Second World War time, something like that we can say. So around 1950s time we see. And now that also the colonization is slowly going away. The Western countries could not colonize the like developing countries the way they were in the past, but still they have the capitalistic system, still they have the capitalism system without the influence of church, no morals. And what is the motivation? Greed for resources. In capitalism, in capitalist system, we see like getting as much as profit, and this is how it works. So when I'm saying about moral and ethics, I'm saying moral and ethics in the society, like how the families are growing, something like that within the society, in male-female dynamics. So when the slave trading was abolished, slaves, like you could not have the slaves and all the stuff, in that time. So now obviously the Western society need more people, so they come with the idea of here come with the idea of women empowerment. So instead of, because they cannot like trade slaves at that time, so this is how I see that they come up with the idea, like if we break the family, if we break the Western family, then we have like one guy and one girl working for us. In that sense, if we make the girl more independent, so they come up with the idea, if they make the woman more independent, then they have also woman as a working force to work for them, so they can have, now they cannot do this cheap work from the slaves. Now they can have the girls to also contribute in the society. And in this way the woman independence start to come in, the feminism start to come in also. That's how it is, because the elites, the top 10%, or we say top 5% of the Western, in the capitalistic society, they enjoy all the benefit, they control all the resources, and they come up with this idea, and they want to make as much profit as possible. If you understand, the hunger for money and power will never go away. At the end, a billionaire or a normal guy, he need like the same chicken, the same food in the night or in the morning. Not too, there is not too much difference for living. There is not too much like a billionaire don't need like extraordinary food, which is very different than a normal guy, even in Western society. But the greed is there, that is developed because of this case selection evolution. It is developed, that greed developed. And since there is no control of church, in the political system, there are no moral and ethics. Simple as that. So now what is happening? Women started to work also in the Western society, and it is not the girls who are creating problem. It is the system is based on profit. The people who want as much as profit in the Western society, that is that caused the woman to make work also for them. And when is woman is working, when the girl are working, and when the girl are working, then obviously they want more freedom. And then the feminism also started to come, and when the more freedom is coming, they want even more freedom, and they want even more freedom. You understand? So women are working. So now women are working in the Western society. Women are getting freedom, but the root cause is the greed for more profit, greed for more profit, greed for more money. There are no moral and ethics within the society, so it means that they can go to any extent to make profit. As simple as they can, there is no limit. They can go to any limit. Western society can go to any limit when it comes to making profit. As simple as that. So Western civilization is built upon making as much money as possible. There is no love for each other. Only it is about the personal gain, personal gain. There is no love for there is no love between people. Also, just personal materialistic gain. We have to keep this thing in mind. This is how it is. Now you have to understand, when the woman is getting freedom, she is also getting independent. And when a girl who is like working, enjoying her life, which is much more interesting, much more like comfortable for that person, for that girl, compared to she is staying at home taking care of kids, 3 4 kids or something like that. So because of this thing, now the Western society is less and less interested in making kids. They are less and less interested in making kids. So when the Western society is not interested in making kids, then what will happen? Some other society will be coming to fulfill the population gap. So now the immigration started because the Western society cannot do the slave trade like in the older days. So they started to the migration. So then what happened? The migration started to come from like different places. So then what happens? Migration start to come because the population is getting like older, as well as they need new workforce. There is not too much like Western population is there to do the work. So now the Western society is inviting different culture, people from the different culture, to mix with their own culture, because now as the church is not controlling anything, there is no culture. When there is complete freedom, then people will become crazy, and then they do whatever they want. It's what's happening in the Western society. So now the new culture is coming. So in USA it is slightly delayed, but definitely in the West Europe, it is changing very rapidly. So the new culture is coming in the new culture, new type of people are coming in the West Europe and replacing the native European population. And you have to understand, again, it's the greed of the Western people who are controlling right now the political system, because they know very clearly that which group of the people are making more kids. So they have to make that kind of people, that group of people, more happy, who are making more kids, who are going to be more in population in future. and that's what they are doing. White European people, white Western people, the same thing in USA. They are not interested in making kids because Western girls are out of control. And when there is too much freedom, then nobody is interested in making kids because they are all interested in living a luxury, enjoyable lifestyle, something like that. And now the people from the different pop culture are coming in Europe or in the West, we can say, and they are fulfilling the population gap. And the system is made in such a way, the political system is also made in such a way that these immigrants will be as much as comfortable, live as much as comfortable in the society, in the Western society, so that their kids, because normally these immigrants are also very young compared to native European population, so they will be in future do the work for when the Europeans will become even more older. So you have to understand one thing, it is not the feminism, it is not the girls, it is not the women who is creating the problem in the West. It is the greed of Western people is causing their own self-destruction. The greed for money, the greed for resources, the greed for power, as much as power as possible. If you see, like USA, for example, USA controlled Middle East. It's the greed for oil, the greed for resources. Simple as that. It's simple as that. USA is powerful, the greed for resources. So even if, okay, we cannot say that USA has colonized African countries or Middle East, but in some way it is still like indirect colonization. It's still going on. Iraq, for all the oil thing, all the oil refineries are in control of USA in Iraq or something like that. So it is still the greed of power and greed of resources that is deriving the Western civilization. And now this greed is coming back to bite them. It is not the girls, it is not the feminism that is creating problem. It's the greed that is creating problem. The greed which made them, the greed that motivation to gather as much as resources, as much as power, that make them superior. The same thing is coming to bite them again. The same thing is coming back to bite them. So I will say, when it comes to decline of West, then people have to reevaluate everything again. It is not liberals, it is not girls, it is not feminism. It is the greed of power and money that is causing the decline of West. Because of that greed, they removed all morals, all ethics. People can do whatever they want, and it is the elites, the top 10% of the people who are controlling the West, their personal benefit of money, power, that is driving them. They have no love for their people, they have no empathy for their people. It's just their own personal profit that is driving them, that is motivating them to do whatever they are doing right now. A really good example I will explain you. In 12 years ago, around I will say like 10-12 years ago, there in Germany, in Europe, we had like this dating website. For example, the girl who was working a lot and the guys who are working a lot, like working people, class people. So they were like a dating website where I think, I'm sure it will be happening also in USA. So these dating websites, you can register them in them. You pay like monthly basis, you pay. Then you look for the partner, you talk to them, you arrange date, and then you meet them, and then you have a life partner, girlfriend or wife, and then you will be going out of the system. Understand? So this was a good system to solve a proper problem, that when it comes to working class girls and working class guy, and they were not able to find partner in their college time or in their job situation, then they can find partner through internet website, and then they get married or they get girlfriend boyfriend and they out of the system. But this system is a bad system, because people are only there for a temporary amount of time, short amount of time. As soon as they get the partner, they are out of the system. So the higher authorities want as much as profit. Since there are no morals, there are no ethics, so they make a system. Tinder came out, which is a hookup culture, hookup system. So there in Tinder, when you are staying longer in the system, you are also likely to pay much longer to the system. So when you get a short boom boom encounter, short sexual encounter, for example, and you are not going to be penalized for this kind of promiscuity, you will be staying in that system because it is generating more profit to the person who is controlling the Tinder, the company who is controlling the Tinder. So it is generating more profit to them. So since there are no moral and ethics in the society, in the Western society, they make the system that is even corrupting the society even more, spreading more promiscuity in the system, because it is all about the money. It's all about the money, baby. The money, the greed of money, the greed of power in capitalistic society. When there are no moral and ethics, the society is going to fall. Now or later, it is going to fall. It is inevitable. It is definitely going to happen. That's how it is. So this is my conclusion about fall of Western society. It is not girls, it is not feminism, it is not liberals. It is the greed of the Western people. Either it is liberal, Democrat, or conservative, or whatever you want to say. It's the greed that is creating that is the source of the problem. That is the source of the problem. Because I'm an outsider, so I am seeing from the far away the both conservative, democratic, and everything I'm seeing, and that's why I can judge, I can make something like this. I don't know if somebody has come up with this kind of thing, what I am explaining. Maybe you must be disagreeing. I love to listen from you, what you think about my diagnose about fall of the West. Is it correct? It is not correct. I am still saying that I am not perfect, because I am a king dating coach. I'm not a historian, but I love to talk about these things also, because that also interests me a lot. So guys, I love to listen to what you have to say about my diagnosis about the fall of Western society. And if you like my content and like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button, because I need your love and support. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye. I hope you enjoyed this video and got a lot of value out of it. By the way, guys, if you are still suffering in your dating life, not able to find any solution for the problems you are facing in your dating life, now it's time to change it forever. And if you really want to get guided by me personally in my mentorship program or in my one-on-one bootcamp program, then apply to the link in the description below. The link is deepakdating.info/mentorship. But keep in mind, my mentorship program or my one-on-one bootcamp program are in very high in demand with a very limited availability. They are also costly. So only if you are fully motivated, committed, and prepared emotionally and mentally, want to get guided by me personally, only then apply to the mentorship or my bootcamp program. If right now the cost is the issue, or you are not able to do my mentorship program or my bootcamp program due to any personal reason and still want to change your dating life, then I suggest you to join Dating Infield Domination. The link is also in the description below. The first link, it's only $1, completely risk-free. You can cancel it anytime you want to. There you will see pure uncut in-field interaction of me as well as my students, getting laid, getting girlfriends. Listen word by word, line by line, in-field interactions in this program, Dating in-Fields Domination, and learn top-level seduction skills which no other dating coach in this world can able to teach you. I challenge it. What you will see in Dating in-Fields Domination in the in-fields, that is something you will be personally learning from me in my mentorship program or my one-on-one bootcamp program in future if you plan to join it. So apply to the link in the description below for a 30-minute free call, deepakdating.info/mentorship. If you really want to get mentored by me personally and change your dating life or other alternative, join Dating in Fields Domination. The link is also in the description below. If you are not really sure right now for mentorship program or my one-on-one bootcamp program. Also guys, don't forget to watch the playlist Rock Solid Infield on this channel, where I'm doing live flirt, picking up girls in front of camera, showing top level pickup and attraction skills. Also don't forget to watch Student Transformation and Testimonials, where I'm teaching my students, showing full documentaries, student success and their testimonials also.